Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Hanging Out for a Living. I am Teresa Oshman, your host. And if you've ever felt like you're doing all the marketing things, posting, emailing, networking, maybe even dabbling in ads, and still wondering why the heck the results feel kind of like meh, this conversation is really for you. Today, I'm hanging out with Kristi Mitchell, a marketing strategist, speaker, and host of the podcast on Fudge, sort of, your marketing. Christy has a gift for cutting through the noise and helping business owners stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and actually start building marketing that really feels good and works. She's especially passionate about helping coaches and consultants and service-based businesses really simplify their marketing, stay authentic, and build strategies rooted in relationships and not overwhelm. Christy, I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun hearing you introduce me in that way. Those are all of the things I stand for.
Oh,
So,
good.
yes,
Good.
I'm very excited for this conversation.
Yeah. As am I. Thanks so much for hanging out with all of us today. So let's dive into our four questions. You say the number one reason people don't see results from their marketing is lack of strategy, and that kind of like stings a little bit. What does strategy actually mean in practical terms for business owners who's already busy and they're overwhelmed?
Yes. Yeah, I firmly believe that the number one reason business owners don't see results that they're looking for from their marketing is because they don't have a strategy. And when I say that, I mean a lot of times business owners go after one specific marketing tactic, whether
Sure.
it's social media or paid ads or presenting or whatever the thing is. They get hyper focused on one specific tactic and they think that that's going to solve all of their marketing problems, and it just doesn't work that way. And so when I say strategy, what I mean is really building a strategic marketing funnel for your business. So this is kind of core and central to the way that I approach marketing is
Mhm.
building a funnel. And when I say that, it's really just thinking about getting out in front of people is the very top of the funnel. And most often business owners think that that's marketing. We're just getting out in front of people. We just need more awareness. We need more people to learn about us. But really, that's just the first step in bringing someone on this journey. So the attract phase is at the top. The next thing you need to be focused on is getting people to what I call convert, and that's
Okay.
convert them to become a lead. Get them to give you their name and email address in exchange for something of value. So that's really the next key piece. And that's where a lot of businesses that I work with, I see drop the ball. They're just thinking, we just need to get out in front of people. But that's really not the case. I say you got to bring people into your world and help them get to know you, like you, and trust you. So that brings us to the nurture section, which is the third and kind of the longest section of the funnel
Sure.
usually. And that's really just helping people get to know you, who you are, why you do the work that you do, how do you do it differently than others, what are the benefits they could see by working with you, and then closing the deal. That's the bottom of the funnel, right? That's getting someone to make the sale when the timing is right, I say. And that's more of a sales function. I don't focus specifically on that in the
Sure.
marketing realm, but marketing
Mhm.
is mostly focused on those top three sections. So
Absolutely.
that's really how I like to approach a strategy. It can be as simple as that.
Exactly. It's uncomplicated, which I really love. The other thing I really love is that your belief that you can do much less and be far more effective. So, what's one thing you commonly see business owners doing too much of, and one thing they should be doing more intentionally instead?
Yes, I see business owners spreading themselves too thin, especially on social media.
Uh,
Trying to be in all of the places all of the time is usually not a sustainable strategy for most small businesses. And so I really like to help businesses take a step back. Let's look at the data of all these channels that you're trying to be on. What does the data tell us? Are people finding you there? Are people engaging with you there? If they're not, doesn't mean you should still be there. Maybe you should. Maybe you could just do it differently and do a better job at it, but maybe it's not the right platform for you. And so a lot of times when I work with business owners, a common scenario is they're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
okay.
And especially when they're a B2B business, which I work with a lot of, LinkedIn is usually the better platform for them. And so sometimes we can get away from worrying about Facebook and Instagram. Let's not worry about those anymore, and let's focus more specifically on LinkedIn and
Hmm.
really hone your strategy there, because when you only have to show up in one place, you have more time and energy and bandwidth to do it in a more meaningful and strategic way.
Absolutely. Makes total sense. Absolutely. Um, I remember being overwhelmed one time many years ago. I get overwhelmed every now and then. But
We all do.
I had a coach at the time, a business coach, and he said, make a list of all the places you're hanging out in, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, um, the other one was Instagram, you mentioned. There's several others
Mm-hmm.
out there, and also the networking groups that you're hanging out in. And then go through each list, go through each item on your list objectively and cross out those that don't have your ideal customer.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was
Yes,
huge. That was an eye opener. Um,
for sure.
absolutely.
And
Mhm.
I think a lot of times with that, business owners get this like fear of missing out, FOMO,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, well, what if everyone else is there and so I should be there too, but maybe you're not trying to target the same types of people. Or, when you
Exactly.
think about especially social media, it's a different type of content that you have to create to be on Instagram than you do on LinkedIn.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
absolutely.
so there's
Yeah.
so many factors that can play into that, and really figuring out what's right for you and your business and tuning out the noise and tuning out that FOMO is so incredibly important.
Absolutely. So I know many of the people you work with have built great businesses on referrals and relationships, but they want
Mm-hmm.
more consistent, high quality inbound leads. What's the bridge
Yes.
between word of mouth only and
Mm-hmm.
marketing and a marketing plan that attracts the right people without feeling kind of salesy or inauthentic?
Yes. I think, yes, a lot of the business owners I work with have built themselves on referrals and networking and word of mouth, which is great. It's a great first way to get started. That's what I did. That's how I started my business.
Hmm.
Eventually, I think most of us get to a point where we're like, gosh, this is really exhausting, always having to go out and find the next client. And also, when you rely too heavily on referrals, those can dry up. Like that's beyond your control to a
Sure.
great degree. You can do a
Right.
great job staying in touch with those referral partners, but they may not have people to refer to you. And so I think you really need to take more control and be more proactive and say, okay, how can I create a strategic marketing plan that's going to, again, go back to that marketing funnel that's
Yep.
going to help me get out in front of new people, bring them into my world by getting their name and email address, nurturing them over time through something like email marketing where you have so much control over, and then converting them into a client at the end of the day. So I think that's really important for business owners to understand, is that you could put simple things in place at each of these stages that really just help safeguard you and help
Sure.
you build that strong organic foundation from which you can grow in a sustainable way in the future.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. That is to grow in a sustainable way. It's a long game, right? It's not
Yes.
instant gratification. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on a mission to make people actually love marketing or at least stop
I am.
dreading it, right?
Yes.
So when marketing feels aligned and authentic, how does that change the way business owners show up, not just in their marketing, but in their confidence and growth?
Yes. So if I can I share a quick client
Oh,
story?
please. Yes, absolutely.
I think it helps showcase this so well. So I worked with a woman who owns a salon,
Okay.
and like it's a big salon. They offer a lot of services. They have this cool niche in like being an LGBTQIA certified safe space. Like they're
Okay.
really ingrained in the community. It's a really cool business. So the business owner came to me, to work together to get a strategic marketing plan together. And when we started talking about social media, she was like, oh, like I just want my stylists and my service providers to create content. I just want them to do it and they're not doing it. And so then I don't have content to go on our social channels. And we kind of had this conversation, and I brought her around to like, well, if you're not doing it, how do
Oh,
you expect them to do it?
yeah.
And so I won't get into all the detail, but through
Sure.
the time that we worked together, she really took ownership of that
Okay.
and learned how to do it in a way that it ended up just being second nature to her. And now I watch her on social media and I'm like, she is crushing it. Like she is showing up with all this energy and enthusiasm. And that has now gotten her stylist to get on board with creating content too. And it's gotten her better results because more people are tuning in because it's really interesting and fun content to engage with. And I saw her at a retreat a few months ago, and this was probably like at least 6 to 8 months after working with me. And she had told me that she's like, yeah, people ask me, like, who's running your social media these days? It's so good. And she's like, she does this little hair flip and she's like, oh, it's me. I'm doing it. And she's so, like, she's having so much fun with it. And
Mhm.
she's so excited about these results that she's getting, all this engagement and, some like posts kind of going viral for her, that it
Nice.
like, then it fuels her excitement to keep it going. So it ends up being this awesome kind of like flywheel that just
Oh
like
my
the
gosh,
cycle just keeps
absolutely.
going.
Oh, I love that story. I bet you have a ton of those to tell.
Yeah.
I know sometimes when people think about posting on social media, they're like, "Oh no, no, I'm not doing that." That's kind of scary. So if you can
Yes.
help people take that out of it, and I love how you position it that, follow the leader, right? People will follow the
Yes.
leader.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
it's funny, Teresa. I have my undergrad was in psychology. Like I thought I was
Ah,
going to go into like,
okay.
I don't know, being a therapist or working at school or something. And that obviously is not the path that I chose. But I do kind of laugh sometimes because I'm like, I do feel like I use that degree when I work with my clients
Oh,
because when we have resistance to things like social media or email marketing or whatever the marketing tactic is, there's some underlying layers to that. And when I can really help peel back the layers of that onion with my clients and really help them kind of work through some of that and like,
sure.
let's just give it a shot. Like, let's just try it and see what happens. And let's figure out how we can create that plan in a way that feels good to you. It might be a little bit of a stretch. I might push you a little bit outside your comfort zone, but it's like it's kind of this like collaborative approach that gets them
Absolutely.
to give it a chance and then they see the result and then they're like, "Okay, now I want to do more of this."
What an added benefit to have that extra layer that you bring to your clients, the psychology piece. That's huge. That's
I'm
absolutely
not a
huge.
therapist. I
I
will say
know, I know.
I'm not certified, I'm not trained, but it's
No.
funny that I think there's like little elements that kind of
Oh,
translate in the world of
absolutely.
marketing.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I've had to tell you, Christy, this has been such a great and energetic conversation. And I know for a lot of people watching or listening, Christy probably just gave you language to things you've been feeling for quite a while. So if you're tired of guessing, overwhelmed by options, or just want a marketing plan that actually feels like you, um, I highly encourage you to continue the conversation with Christy. Her contact information is in the description of this video. Reach out, connect with her, and let her know what resonated most from today's conversation. Christy, thank you so much for hanging out with us, with me today. Until next time, everybody, bye for now.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank